Hey y'all, and good now, whenever and wherever this finds you. Today we're going to be talking about superpower. When we design a solar, wind, and battery system for the cloudiest, shortest days of the year, what happens is on the sunny days we end up with a superabundance of power. And this describes how it happens and what we need to do about it. And turns out that what we need is leadership. Let's take a look.
It turns out that 100% solar, wind, and batteries is just the beginning. This new system has a completely different architecture than the old one, so it works in very different ways. And perhaps the most counterintuitive aspect of this is that the new system produces much more electricity overall. So when we build a system based on solar and wind power, we have to design it to get through the worst times of year, those cloudy weeks during winter when the days are shortest. But by doing so, we naturally end up with the capacity to generate much more electricity on most of the other days of the year. And remember, this is still the cheapest electricity system that we can build. We call this unexpected benefit of 100% solar, wind, and battery systems superpower. Its implications are simply stunning. To start with, the sheer scale of superpower is enormous. In sunny regions like California and Texas, clean energy superpower output is greater than the total electricity demand today. And this pattern is consistent with other disruptions, where the new system is much larger than the old one that it replaces, like cars disrupting horses or smartphones disrupting film cameras. And what's more, clean energy superpower is not just available once in a while, it's available all throughout the year. Even here in New England, superpower will be available on 2/3 of all of the days of the year, and in sunnier regions, over 90% of all days. Now, because this superpower is coming primarily from the sun, it doesn't cost anything. There's no fuel. There's no additional wear and tear on the equipment. If the sun is shining, solar panels just sit there and happily make electricity, and that means the marginal cost of clean energy superpower is effectively zero. So just imagine what society could do with a huge amount of clean energy that is available almost every day and is essentially free. What do we need to do to make this happen? Well, what we don't need are subsidies and carbon taxes, any more than digital cameras needed them to wipe out celluloid film. The disruption is already inevitable. What we need is leadership. We need communities and policymakers and entrepreneurs and investors to understand the future of energy and to act on this information by making the right choices today.
Hey, for those of you who realize that I've gone on a different wavelength and we might not communicate as well as we did before, but I want you to know that I still love you and I want you to enjoy this, and I will see you down the road.